Welcome to Unfiltered Summit Sisters. I'm Gina.
And I'm Julia.
We are two ride-or-die best friends who are paving the path for what true, authentic relationships look like.
We're facing hardships head-on, having real, uncensored conversations, supporting each other's growth, and shining a light on true, raw healing.
We are navigating the world the best we know how.
Having a hell of a time doing it.
Laughing every step of the way.
Through the rain
and sunshine.
This is Canyon Culture.
Welcome back to Unfiltered Summit Sisters. I think this is my second favorite spot in the canyon.
Mm-hmm.
And I think my first favorite spot is just because it's special for you and I, but right. View-wise, this is it. Mm-hmm. This is my number one view. I came here with some of the boys the other day and I almost cried because just watching them run through this field right here with this backdrop, I was like, what is better?
Do you remember the first time we came here together?
Oh my gosh.
You frolicked through the meadow behind us as I sang, the hills are alive.
And it was alive. Your singing brought it to life.
And your dancing and frolicking was perfect.
Match made in heaven.
That's what you do in meadows.
It is. It was amazing. It was so good.
So welcome to our meadow.
This is our meadow. You're welcome. So we wanted to, as we're thinking about what we wanted to talk about today, we were both just sitting there like, we're so tired. And I was like, done. We're talking about that.
So tired.
It's so bad. It's really bad. I have had 2 nights sleep in a row where I've had 5 hours of sleep, and that's a victory for me.
I stopped counting because it just pisses me off.
It does.
It makes me angry.
But I think the purpose of having this conversation is just, it's funny. We have to make light of it. And I think that you and I need this moment to just because we tell other people about how little we sleep and they have concern for us. And we're like, it's fine, leave us alone. And so I need this time to be just exhausted and tired and have you laugh with me about it. And that is my whole purpose.
Because we've now reached the point of being delirious.
So I go through phases. I don't know about you, but I go through seasons where I just don't sleep at night. Yeah. I'm a night person in general, and so I have my nightly, it's not like a strict routine, but it's just what I naturally do. And then my body's like, hey, it's 5 a.m., let's get up. And I was like, we just went to bed 3 hours ago.
Mm-hmm.
Do you go through seasons? Is it a cyclical thing for you? Or is it, Yeah,
I go through waves of sleeping and not sleeping.
Okay, but when you're sleeping, how many hours of sleep? Like when you're like, oh, I'm sleeping well, what is your typical?
6 hours is like, I'm a rock star. Like I could change the whole world today.
I'm dominating today. Yeah, same.
So those of you who are sleeping 8 hours a night, every single night, y'all should be way more productive than you are. I'm absolutely judging right now.
Well, Shirley has this theory that she thinks that even though they say everyone should get 8 hours of sleep, she's like, some people don't need that. And I'm going, I highly function at 6 hours of sleep, but I do wonder if I got 8, would I have superpowers?
Right.
So yes, I don't need it.
There are some nights that I've literally had nights where I've had less than an hour of sleep and had a super crazy productive day still.
I have the same thing.
I'm kind of forced to.
Yeah. So right now with my lack of sleep, a lot of it is overthinking and not getting my brain to shut off. And now and then the last couple nights we're shifting into, doesn't matter when I go to sleep, I'm waking up between 5 and 6. So those are the 2 different ways I don't sleep. And when I was overthinking, I'm like 4 a.m. before I fall asleep and then getting up at 6. But yeah, I had a night where I had 2 hours of sleep. And that day I was like, let's go. I got this. I was like, I crushed that day. The next day, I got 6 hours of sleep and I was dragging the whole day.
Yeah, that makes no sense.
I don't get it.
That makes me mad too.
Well, it all makes me mad.
I think I get more mad when I'm tired.
My favorite is when your Mackenzie comes upstairs and it's like 10 and you're like, hello, sunshine. I have done a full day.
Yeah, I'm 5.5 hours into my day. Good morning.
And she's just like, oh, I'm tired. And I'm like, you shut your mouth.
I'm like, I cannot even with you right now.
You and your 10-hour teenager life. It's ridiculous. But so how much sleep did you get last night?
I'm not counting.
Okay.
But I've been up since 5.
Yeah, same. I saw you had done some stuff on Instagram. While I was up doing work, I was getting some invoicing done and answering emails.
I invoiced today too.
Look at us.
I've done so many things already.
Yeah.
I made some changes to health insurance this morning. I invoiced everybody for September. I responded to a bunch of business messages that I needed to respond to. I meal planned for next week and put a grocery order in and something else. Can't remember.
Posted on.
All before you got to my house at night.
Yeah. My favorite, though, is when I when I get to my phone and there's a text message from you with a list of all the things you've already done for the day. And I love that we do that for each other. We're like, listen, I just need someone on this earth to know all the things that I've done. Now, a lot of times we'll do that at the end of the day, but I love that it's like, it's not even 10 a.m. and this is what I've done today. Does that mean I get to lay in bed the rest of the day? Of course not. But
no.
I feel like
I was actually going to text you this morning and be like, Canyon? But I was like, we're podcasting and she has to get the kids to school or some crap like that.
You know what's funny is as soon as I dropped the kids off at school, I was like, I want to go to the canyon. I'm going to be up there in an hour, but I want to go now. And I almost be like, do you want to go early? Okay, so do you have any funny stories about your delirium?
Yeah, I'm so tired that I'm not functioning well right now at all. Like,
tell the debit card story. That one's funny.
So yesterday, not even yesterday, I'm pretty sure earlier the week I texted you like tired.
I don't know what day it is.
I'm so tired. I don't know what day it is. I'm pretty sure I forgot what year it was this week. I was like, whenever we hit 2023, my boyfriend was like, but we're
almost done.
2023 is almost over. And I was like, right, it's not 2022 anymore. Seriously?
No, I was working and I had to put a bunch of dates in and I was putting 2022. So
okay, perfect. That makes me feel better.
Same page.
Makes me feel better that you're also not functioning well, which just sounds really rude.
No, because we're also functioning very well. Our kids are being fed. Now listen, I haven't cooked for my kids ever since they got back from Texas because I can't. My brain capacity to put in a grocery order like that, when I hear that you're doing groceries, I'm like, oh my gosh, you are so on top of it because I can't even get that far. Last night, Russell's like, are we just doing whatever for dinner? I'm like, heck yes, you are. He's like, can we get Costa Vida? I was like, no. Do you have a job? Because that's what it would take.
Then let's talk about this story if you think I'm doing so well. I call my credit union to open up a college checking account, basically, and a debit card for one of my daughters who's old enough. You have to be 14 to do it, and she turned 14, so getting that taken care of. And I'm talking to the lady on the phone, and she asks, do you want a debit card? I respond with, I already have one. I already have one. Of course, she's not talking about my account that I already have a debit card for that she can clearly see on her side. She's asking, do I want a debit card for the new campus checking account that I just opened? Of course. Not functioning well at all. And then there's just I get to a point where there's just like, if you look at me wrong or you hug me, I'm going to cry because I'm so tired. Not because anything's wrong, not because there's anything big or bad or dark. I'm just that tired. Yeah. So then I go on a date last night. After, I did not stop moving at all yesterday. It was insane. We went to Costco as soon as it opened. I had to take my oldest to DMV to get her permit. I had to fix a car window on the car. I had to do some house chores. Then I had to get the boys to jiu-jitsu. Then I had to take Madison to her open dance. I didn't stop all freaking day. So we finally get dinner and go up the canyon for a date. And we get to where we're going and we open our food. And I ordered a salad. And I open it and I start crying. Because there's no meat on the salad.
Aww. I would have cried too.
I ordered the sweet pork, which is so good.
It is so good.
If you go to Costa Vida, that's what you get, the sweet pork. That's what you do.
Yeah. It is really
And there
good.
was none on my salad. And so then I cried about that as well.
I might have thrown it. Been like, screw you! Thrown my salad across. Oh. No, that's the part of being exhausted where it's like the kids come up like, are you okay? And I was like, no. They're like, oh my gosh, the
then
world
they
is
ask
ending.
that and then I cry more. Yeah. I'm like, no.
I'm just tired. You know how on computers they've got the little thinking wheel that just spins? I feel like there should be one of those above my head half the time.
Absolutely.
Because I'm looking at one of my children and we're having a conversation and I just feel like I'm like, you need to see that I'm thinking. I don't have the words.
Right.
I can't think of the word. Yeah. So they get frustrated or they'll walk away. And so I'm learning I have to say, I don't have the words. Hold on. And when I'm tired, because that's me anyway.
Yeah.
I'm like that anyway. But then when I'm exhausted, it's even slower. And so I'll just stare at this child and they're like, why are you staring at me? And I'm like, I'm thinking.
I say words in my head that I think that I say out loud, but I don't always say them out loud. So then I talk to a kid and I'm like, why didn't you do this? They're like, you didn't tell me. I'm like, I did not tell you, actually. I thought
Well, that's good that you recognize that, because half the time I'm like, yes, I did. And they're like, no, Mom, I just got home.
Yeah.
And I'm like, right. No, so yesterday I'm like, there's so many spaces of my house that are dirty, and not just cluttery, but dirty. Like, I don't even know how to explain it. Like, I keep my house relatively clean, but then certain areas end up collecting a lot of the junk and the dirt, and it's hard. Anyway, so I was like, I can't live like this anymore. We are doing a full house clean, because I normally don't have the time. So I literally took the day off of work so that I could clean my house. And the kids were like, can I go play? And I'm like, we're cleaning the house, so like, you're going to be doing extra chores today.
Yeah.
And I will ask them to do something, and they'll come back and they're like, okay, I'm done. I'm like, with what? Like, the chore you just asked me. I'm like, what did I just ask you to do? Like,
right. Oh my gosh, have you ever put a kid in their room because they did something, and then you leave them there a little too long, and then you forgot why you put them in your room?
All the time.
You know how I handle it? I bring them in, I'm like, so why were you in your room? Because I can't fucking remember.
No, so I don't do a lot of
And if they're like, I don't remember either, I'm like, shit. I'm like, hold on.
You know what you did. Do better next time. Just keep it vague. For more parenting tips.
Like, it's really important to be respectful and obedient. I feel like that just covers it all.
It covers all of it. No, so I don't do a lot of go to your room, because my kids, like your kids do well. Like, they go to their room. My kids are destructive in their room, which this week we've been dealing with, which has been super fun. Sarcasm, by the way. That was a lot of sarcasm. Not been fun. Losing my ever-loving shit this week with this child. So I do star burpees, because we can just get it done right then. I can keep working whatever I'm doing. I don't have to stop. And so one of the kids had to do 50 star burpees because whatever he did was really bad. And I put it in my phone. I was like, you can do 25 now and 25 later, because I need you out of my face.
Yeah.
So I put it in my phone to do 25 star burpees. And I was like, hey, come here. You need to do 25 burpees. And he's like, why? I was like, you owe them for me yesterday. He goes, oh yeah. And then he's like, it's because I did this. And I was like, that's right. It's because you did that.
Exactly.
I didn't remember. I absolutely forgot. It didn't even take a day. I forget so quickly. And I hate when I'm on Instagram or TikTok or whatever, and they have these videos of like health videos of, if you get this many, every hour of sleep that you don't get, you're cutting 10 years off your life. I was like, so I should be dead.
So yeah, it's a miracle I'm alive.
But I do think that God blesses us with the ability to function with the little sleep that we have.
Oh yeah, for
because
sure.
I don't know how I'm getting through what I'm getting through.
I had a kid this week who needed to go to timeout for a little bit. So I put her in timeout for a little bit. By a little bit, I mean 45 minutes to an hour, which sounds excessive, but this child will sit in timeout for hours.
I know exactly who you're talking about.
So she's in there for 45 minutes to an hour, and I need to help her finish school before I have to start working. So I call her back, and we talk about why she was in her room, and, is she ready to do school? And she's not responding. And I asked her, I'm like, so are you having fun in timeout in your room? She goes, yes. Yes, I am. I was like, I quit. I'm leaving. I'm done. This is bullshit.
What was it yesterday? You said you had got me groceries yesterday.
Yeah.
You went to Costco, said you need anything, and I gave you a small list, and you brought it to my house, and I had my music on very loud, and I was cleaning another room.
I was worried we were going to scare you. Because the music was so loud, there's no way you heard us come in.
I didn't.
Right. I was worried that you were going to come out and we were going to meet in the hallway and scare the crap out of each other.
Punch you in the face.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad we didn't do that.
Yeah.
But you text me, and you just said I couldn't stay and chat because I'm so busy today. And I was like, what can I do to help? And you said, don't look at me, don't breathe at me, don't hug me, don't anything. I might cry. I'm so tired. And I was like,
and I don't have time to cry or be tired.
Okay. So this is something I do wonder, though. Let's dissect this a little bit.
Okay.
I wonder, you and I try really hard to heal and grow and take every opportunity to do so.
Yes.
But we also have spent 13 plus years in toxic relationships where we didn't have the ability to do that for several reasons. One, those needs were never going to get met. And I think too, the reality of what we were living, God put film over our vision with that, because if we understood, it would have been horrendous.
Right.
And so I wonder if he puts us to a point of exhaustion and has us enjoy working out so much, because then we actually process these feelings, process this energy. Otherwise, we're just so used to shoving it down because that's not because we want to, but that's just our natural response. And so I feel like our periods, and I feel like the emotional roller coaster of being on your period, as well as us just like not sleeping, I think because there was earlier this week, I was so tired, and there was a lot of stuff going on, but I didn't cry about it. I was just like, this is hard and sucks. And I'm in the shower and I'm so tired, and I'm like sitting there like so tired. I'm like, I don't want to put shampoo in my hair. Tired. Like lifting my arms for that long sounds like too much work.
I got out of the shower one time with conditioner in my hair.
I love that.
That's how tired.
Right. Just yesterday I went to get out and I was like, I don't think I conditioned my hair.
I can't remember.
I didn't, so I had to do it again.
Looks great today.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So I don't know, I'm kind of wondering, because I cried in the shower, and I was like, just from being tired. And then later I was like, as I'm crying, I'm praying, and I'm just like, this is hard.
Yes.
And I just wonder if he's like, I have to put you ladies in such severe exhaustion so that you guys do process, because you want to heal and you don't know how to do that by yourselves yet.
Right, but then everything on healing is like, you're going to need extra rest and extra sleep and extra grace and take days off. And I'm like, all of that is a privilege. All of that is a privilege.
All of that sounds
None of
fabulous.
Which we are entitled to right now.
One day. No, I was talking to somebody the other day, and I was like, hey, dream vacation. And he goes off about the things he wants to do. He's like, what about you? And I was like,
food and sleep.
Doing nothing.
Yeah.
Somebody else does all the things.
Yeah.
Like, I want to go see culture, and I want to go experience things, and I want to go on adventure. But to be honest, right now, I want to go lay by the pool and have somebody bring me food and someone clean my room for me. Yes. And all I do is just take care of me, and not even take care of me. Just be there and like somebody bring me my food.
Yeah. And I want massages on the beach.
I want massages.
Add that in.
Okay. So we need partners who are going to have lots of money and who love us so much that they're like, listen, we'll take care of the kids. You two go on vacation together.
Perfect.
And then I'll be like, sold. All right. Well, I don't know. I don't really have a purpose. I think this is just us needing to feel seen with the tiredness, because I do think that helps when I hear how tired you are. As much as I hate that you're that tired, right. It's like, okay, I'm not alone, because that's half of it. We talk so much about being single moms, and it's such a lonely place. Mm-hmm. It really is. Even though there's single moms everywhere, I think talking about all the hardships we go through helps me not feel so alone, and that I think is really necessary, because right. I think that Satan really uses that opportunity to those dark thoughts. And when you're tired, those dark thoughts really come in fast and dark and hard, and they stick around a lot longer.
Yes.
But anyway.
And apparently isolating yourself is not the correct approach.
Which I think is dumb.
Yeah.
But I do remember I went to the porch one time and I just laid down. They're like, you okay? I was like, no, I'm really tired. They're like, why? I was like, because I sleep 2 hours a night and then I work all day. And then because that's the thing, is it's not like work.
And I have to be mom and dad and provider mm-hmm. and chauffeur and cook and maid and nurse and firefighter sometimes, and like
all
the time.
Yeah. No, that I was just going to go off on the list. There's always a thing. And so when you yesterday text about how the window wasn't going down on the car, you're like, I don't have time for this. There's so many times that I'm like, yeah. I am already maxed out. Mm-hmm. I don't have time for more.
I cried about that too.
Yeah. I've done that. I think yesterday my freaking neighbor's dog keeps busting through my fence. Like, the dog attacks my fence hard enough, it busts the panels out.
Dang.
And then his energy riles up my dogs, and so they're barking, fighting at each other, so I can't just leave it. And so I'm pretty sure yesterday I was trying not to cry, because I was just like, I'm busy with other things. I don't need this.
Mm-hmm. I know. I wanted to mow the lawn at like 3 a.m. the other day. with a headlamp, but I decided the neighbors might not love that.
I felt the same way when I wanted to train at 3 a.m. And I was like, oh, this is a great time. I have the energy. Let's go train. And I was like, Russell's room is right there and I'm not quiet with my weights.
Right.
He's not going to love that.
5-finger death punch at 3 a.m. is probably not the wake-up call most people are looking for.
It's true. It's very, very true. But no, I think what's crazy is that you even had a training session that you couldn't get through because you were so tired.
That right there.
That showcases how tired you are that you can't
because
push
I
through
pushed
that.
through
Everything else.
everything.
Yeah.
I'm on pain meds for kidney stones, and I'm like, let me get my training session in.
Yeah, and I had to like yell at you. I'm sure your boyfriend had to yell at you too.
Yeah. Y'all all, you, him, Coach Michelle.
Everybody.
I didn't tell her till after I did it, though. I let her the night that I can't remember what night it was. But it was late. It was 11 or 11:30, and you were actually talking to neighbors on your front lawn. And I walk up, and I could not hold anything in. Like, I just start
there's
crying.
this very small shake in your voice, and I was like, "Do you need a hug?"
And that was enough to just open the floodgates.
Well, we sat there and hugged for a while to the point
I like
where
how the neighbors are like, "We're gonna let y'all have a moment."
That was so funny. It's funny now. I mean, it was kind of funny there then too.
I didn't feel like it was funny in the moment.
No, and then we walked
At midnight.
But yeah, we do that. I get yelled at a lot because I'm like, people are like, how was your night? And I was like, I couldn't sleep, so I went walking. They're like, what time? I'm like, 3. They're like, you can't do that. I'm like, listen, if someone wants to take me, let them.
Maybe I'll sleep.
Maybe I'll sleep. What is that meme that says you're gonna sit in this room?
If a kidnapper kidnaps you,
yeah,
you're gonna sit in this room, no phone, you can't leave, in silence, with 3 meals a day. Oh no, please don't kidnap me.
Don't take me. Ah.
That sounds horrible.
Where do I sign up? Oh, I just had a dark thought too. I was like, listen, whatever torture they put me through couldn't be worse than my marriage. And I did that for 13 years, so bring it on.
Let's go.
Okay.
There should be Olympics. There should be an Olympic events, but you're not allowed to sleep.
Yeah.
We would dominate.
That's my thing. Is I'm going, ooh, you hit that one.
Yeah.
I think about if I got sleep, or if I had a full night's rest, or even if I consumed any sort of caffeine, I feel like I could take over the world.
Yeah.
Because like the amount of things I'm able to get done with my foundation crumbling. Because neither of us feed ourselves well, and we do that in different ways.
Right.
But neither of us feed ourselves well, and then we put ourselves through kind of a lot of crazy. But I don't know. I don't have an answer or solution, but I want to try things, and I'm just grateful that we're high functioning exhausted people.
Yeah.
So like this isn't the episode for advice. We're not giving advice.
Would you like to be on the podcast today, little cricket there?
Yeah, you're kind of noisy.
Oh, you do.
What do you have to say? Are you tired too? Are you a single mom? I wonder if the microphones can pick that up.
I don't know.
Yeah, so I'm not giving any advice. Do you have advice?
No.
Because I have none. None of my coping mechanisms I feel like are healthy.
What's the sign that they do in the Hunger Games?
It's the 3 fingers.
That's all I got for you today.
But we're here for you. If you want to voice how tired you are, or the really funny stories of what you do when you're tired.
Oh, that would be fun. Tell us the funny things that have happened to you or that you've done when you are deliriously tired.
Yeah.
All kinds of shit. I tried to unlock the front door using the remote for the car.
I just wander around.
Just so you know, it didn't work.
It didn't work?
Yeah.
Shocker. I wander. Like I'll walk into a room. I'm like, why am I here? I don't even know.
I drove. I left the house to go somewhere that I had never been before. Just started driving, didn't look up directions, and like, I get to Timpanogos Highway and I'm like, where am I going?
Well, half the time when we're done podcasting, I just take you to my house. I'm like, right, you don't live here. Or yeah. But making decisions when I'm this tired is the worst.
Yes.
So I went on a second date, and I told him earlier that day, I was just like, just so you know, I want to make 0 decisions.
Yeah.
And so he gave me 2 options for dinner, and I just stared at him.
That's a decision.
It's like, those are decisions. I've been to neither of those restaurants. The fact that I am dressed right now,
Miracle. Can we talk about the fact that it's August something? It's a day
it's
in late
25th.
August.
It's Grammy's birthday today.
And we're sitting here in sweaters.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Sorry to all you Texas people.
I'm a little bit nervous though, because like, yeah, we had a crazy winter.
Right.
But the summer before it was hot.
Yes.
We were outside all the time and it was hot. And we're like low 80s, mid 80s.
Mm-hmm. Seasons are definitely changing. We've already got yellow up in the mountains.
Because it's so cold, but this
Right.
is wicked early.
Yeah.
Also, my birthday's in 2 weeks. What?
Yeah.
It doesn't feel that long ago that we celebrated my birthday.
Yeah.
This year went by fast.
It went by so fast.
It's because we don't have a grasp of time because we've been awake for an entire year. No, we were on a date earlier this week or last weekend. I don't know. And I said something about September or something like that. And he's just like, there's something important happening in September. I'm like, really, what? I did.
Yeah.
I was like, what is it? What is happening in September?
Can you tell me?
It's kind of like when your boyfriend said that he was getting time off for work in November.
He's getting time off of work for Thanksgiving because he's going with us to Texas for Thanksgiving. And so we've talked about this for weeks. But on date night, he was talking about the dates that he took off. And I was like, oh, what are you doing?
No, but you have to do it in the voice like, oh, what are you doing?
Yeah. Like, oh, what are you planning to do? He looks at me like,
It's so funny. But
like,
that's where we're at.
Right.
Right.
Just kidding. I knew that.
Right. So he's like, yeah, something exciting's happening in September. And I go, ooh, what? He's like, it's someone's birthday. And I was like, whose? It's like yours. I was like, oh, right.
Yeah.
And I was like, birthdays are important to me too. So I did make that known.
Good.
Oh my gosh, it's ridiculous. It's so bad. Well, my problem too is I do remember things, but when it gets time to remember them, I don't. So if something's on my calendar, it haunts me for like a week.
Yeah.
And then the day that it happens, it's
Didn't
like,
you forget to pick up one of my girls at something?
listen, no, I didn't. I just went to the wrong location. I was still on time though.
At the wrong place.
I thought no, I was still on time. It may have been because the lady was late. It's fine. No, Madison had a babysitting job. And I thought, this is my dyslexia. We're blaming it on dyslexia, which doesn't help when I'm tired. She said, I thought she wanted me to take her to work. I was supposed to pick her up from work. So she texts me and she's like, hey, so the mom's not here yet. And I was like, and? In my head, I'm just like, I can still come get you and we'll just like wait in front of the house.
Right. It'll be fine.
And she's just like, and I was like, oh, that's fine. I'm here. Like, let's go. And she's like,
where?
She's like, you want me to leave the child here by herself? And I was like, no, that would be irresponsible. It's like, so Madison, where are you right now? She's like, at work. I was like, right, I'll be there in 10 minutes. Literally sitting in front of your house.
Perfect.
It's so bad. It's so bad. I actually do put this in my gratitude journal often, and I think I maybe be like counteracting the gratitude journal, but I'll be like, I'm grateful for sleep, even though I don't get any. I'm manifesting.
Are you trying to reverse psychology?
Or something. I don't know what I'm trying to do, but it's like I feel like, when you're manifesting, you're supposed to like manifest what you want, not necessarily what you have, right? So a lot of times I'll be like, oh, I'm so grateful for my partner that's coming. I'm so grateful for my children who are well behaved. I'm so grateful for the homes that the puppies that I'm selling are going to, right? So they don't have them yet, but I'm manifesting that. And that's kind of what I'm doing, but I feel like such a deep liar when I say that I'm grateful for the sleep that I get, because I'm not getting any.
So you are lying.
So I feel, right, so like, I feel like it's beyond manifesting at this point. I feel like I'm just a fraud.
I'm grateful. I'm grateful for the sunshine and the weather right now, because it's beautiful and perfect. And I love that I can wake up and throw a sweatshirt on and it's 58 degrees in the morning.
But it's still like warm
and then
enough.
It warms up and then it cools down again at night.
Isn't that
Still
great?
very new for us.
Isn't it awesome?
It's amazing.
Well, it's going to be new because it's not the whole year.
Right.
So it's not like you had to deal with this for a year or had
Right.
the privilege of having it for a year.
Yeah.
Well, with all this wonderful insight, we will end this podcast. This is, but I feel like this really mirrors how tired we are, and this is where we're at.
This is it.
This is it. This
This
is
is what we
you
got for y'all.
get. Okay, so we'll see you guys next week, and hopefully, I don't even know what hopefully.
I don't know.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode of Unfiltered Summit Sisters.
Come join us on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok to get a sneak peek into our lives.
It's beautiful, chaotic, crazy, and fun.
What else would you expect raising 10 kids?
All the links you need are in the show notes.
See you next week.